Secretary Harry Roque and the other members of the Cabinet, Senator Shirin Win Gatchalian, Representative Ann Hover. Ay ma'am, kumusta ka? Gumaganda ka ba? Araw-araw, pareho dyan sa... Huwag kayong magturuan. Ikaw, Joy. Representative Jose Maria Clemente Joy Salceda, officials of Commission of Higher Education led by its officer in charge, Prospero de Vera, officials and members of the state and local universities and colleges, mga kasama ko sa gobyerno, mga kababayan. Education is the single most important legacy that we can bestow on our youth. It opened doors for countless opportunities that will lead to further empowerment, greater success, and the realization of their individual aspiration. At present, millions of Filipino youth are still having a hard time finishing their studies due to poverty. Many poor students are struggling to go to school simply because they have no money for allowance, transportation, books, and projects, and other miscellaneous expenses. Let me cut here. One of the reasons why I'm really so passionate in my advocacy sa drugs, pati crime and criminality is our constant worry about the tomorrow of our children. Tayo ho ay mahirap lang. And despite of the massive infusion of money for education, kulang pa rin. May pare ho dito. Gusto ko magdasal muna tayo bago. Wala, mabuti. Kasi kayong mga pare, we are eternally at odds with each other. Though I am, or has been, or have had a good Christian education, nung dumating ako sa gobyerno, ang paradigm shift ko umiba. And this is of course, well, we are not yet really in the overpopulated world. We're trying to control Filipinos by not really imposing any abortion or any whatever that destroys the human life in the womb of the mother. But yung tao, napakarami. I come from a place called Mindanao, and apparently, from the looks of it, in the years of my public service, Mindanao used to be, I said, the promised land for our bread basket. With the advent of the coming of cash crop instead of the food crop, kinukulang na tayo ngayon ng lupa, and even to really satisfy, or do we have the resources to answer for the food of the Filipino? Kasi sa Mindanao, the choice lands there were eaten up by the cash crop guys. Yung food crop, wala na masyado. And if you'd ask me, in the next how many years, we'll just have to import rice. I do not believe that we can be rice sufficient. Sinabi ni Pinyol na at the year's end, istorya mo lang yun. Lente sa amon sa makilala, gadamo sang bugas. Gabunto-bunto sang bugas. Pagdating ng panahon, no? Way man bugas, mag-import pa ta. So, in the last trocos where there was reportedly mababa yung yield natin and also yung importation natin because ang bumper kasi nila gusto, if this is the ceiling, yan dyan, the bumper is around here on. So, we had a bit of trouble dito. I had to cut some powers of cabinet members for just being too short-sighted or jumping to others' territory, turf war. Sabi ko sa kanila, bakit hindi pumupunuin up to the ceiling? Ang ating kasing buffer stock was only good for 3 to 4 days. So you must be crazy. It's always visual. Pag nakikita ng tao ng bigas niya, umaabot doon sa ceiling. That's a very consoling sight for him. Eh kung makita, hanggang dyan lang yan, muambak nga rin gamay, mo reduce na po, na first in, first out, you'd never see the end of it. So I said, you guys, put an inventory there. I do not care if you'll have to sell it at a lower price someday if there's a glut in the market. Total government itong atin. We only go inside the private territory of merchants until and unless the supplies are no longer there. So yun ang ano ko dito sa ano. Kung wala lang sana ang gulo, Mindanao could really properly cultivated. Mindanao could supply the food that people need. But if you cannot solve the problem in time, magkakaroon tayo ng problema. And I know in the coming days, I hope that the BBL, however fractured it may be to the others, will see the light of day and just maybe reserve the portion that are with issues during the Constitutional Convention. Never mind if it does not pass. If we opt to be a centralized form of government until now, we maintain the system. But remember that ito namang, and even the presidents of colleges and everything, they have to go into rigmarole in sa pag-apply, paglabas, then you have to get the clearance. It's a highly centralized government. But at the same time, we must also realize that to go into I would not say loose, but a newly structured government where we do not have the necessary transition, medyo delikado. Tingin ko lang. And so we hope someday that when the time comes, we'll be able to separate the chaff from the grain and come up with something that would benefit the people. At present, millions of Filipinos youth are still having a hard time finishing their studies due to poverty. Many poor students are struggling to go to school simply because I've read that, dito, pabalik-balik na tayo. That is why we have made it a priority to make quality education affordable and accessible to all. Signing of this Memorandum of Agreement between the Commission on Higher Education and almost 200 tertiary academic institutions is a crucial step in helping young Filipinos fulfill their dreams of becoming productive members of our country's workforce through academic degrees and technical or vocational training. I recognize the valuable efforts of Congress, CHED, TESDA, and other state universities and colleges, or local universities and colleges, or technical vocational institutions, and other partners for making this elusive dream rather, free quality tertiary education for all a reality. Problema ang pera. So, we had this meeting with the cabinet, and we were talking about so many things that government could do or could not. At ang isa doon, the solitary voice was Leonor Briones. He said that the people must pay their taxes. They have to pay for the government to work. There is no other way where we can raise the money for the needs of the Filipino people except through taxes. So, ang tao kailangang bumayad. We have so many ambitious projects trying to keeping up with the modern trend of education, giving it free, almost free for all. But itong atin, because of the economy is not that good, it's improving, but we still have more miles to go. And so, sabi niya, hand-in-hand with this offer of ours, free education for all, halos universal na, people must realize also that they have to pay their taxes. At what bracket do we target? Well, that is for Congress to decide. Kung talagang hindi makabayad, wala man tayong magawa doon. But I will go for the sin taxes. I know that's your favorite. We go for a higher dyan sa sugar. And we discussed so many things where we can trace everything. And we'll just tell the people that, if you want improvement on anything, practically or aspect of governance, would depend on taxes. Alongside broadening access to tertiary education, we are also prioritizing the improvement of the quality of education in the Philippines. As we bring education closer to the poor students, we must also ensure that the quality of education is not compromised and its benefits are cascaded to all. I therefore ask our state leaders and local educational institutions, our esteemed teachers, administrators, and governors involved in the effective and efficient implementation of RA 10931 to do your best in fulfilling the respective mandates under the law. Indeed, free education, free quality tertiary education is a significant step towards further building the capacity of our people, most particularly in improving the lot of the underprivileged and the marginalized Filipino. Empowering our citizens and building our nation are indeed challenging but both rewarding and a beautiful task. It may be difficult from the start, but the results in the end will give our people the chance to lead productive, meaningful, and comfortable lives. Let us look forward to a brighter future for our nation by uplifting the lives of the fellow Filipinos through accessible and quality education for all. Before I say thank you, kami dito I am so passionate about my advocacies. Remember that I only promised you about 4 things, basic things. And that is why during the presidential debates, I was the last to finish. Because I realized that 1 minute 30 seconds could not give you anything. So I did it by bullets. But reduced to the simplest, on simplest term, I only promised 4. And I said, I could not go into other advocacies. That's not possible for now. I said, I promise to stop graft and corruption. and I'm doing it. You know very well that I'm doing it. I've been firing people, those even with me during the mayorship days in 1988. Then I promise you that I have to destroy drug because it will destroy us. And all of these things dito binabasa ko about the promise of the youth tomorrow, mawawala to. And you say that there are many poor, kaya yung iba, they have to go to outside of the Philippines. Now, you are all educators. You know very well that when a family loses the father because he has to go to the Middle East to work, you will agree with me, I'm sure, that the family is already dysfunctional. A family without a father, for the children to see at the end of the day, is a very terrible thing. Now, pagka yung tatay pati nanay aalis at yung mga anak nila iniiwan lang doon sa mga tatay, nanay nila o sa relatives, my God, you see a totally dysfunctional family. And so what was the underlying reason? It's poverty. So what is the remedy? The remedy of their poverty, they go out. So they endure hardships. You know very well that you read every day the physical abuse and the food and everything, they all endure it. Some, mga anak na doon, wala nang balita, and only to find that 5 years after mag-uwi siya, the guy, husband, has already another wife, and dugo yan eh. Maski ba mukha na yung dadalhin niya. So pag-uwi niya, there's a raucous in the family. It will never return to normalcy. Ang masakit dyan, sinuubos nila yung panahon nila kakatrabaho. 5 years is really too long for an ordinary human to endure this kind. Well, yung sa Kuwait, talagang, well, something happened and puro kami galit. Galit na ako noon. But sabi ko kasi, mahirap naman yung gano'n. It's not an issue about Kuwait. It's an issue about Filipinos returning, and all of the threads of filial relationships are gone. At saka yung trabaho nila doon, tiniis nila yon, sinikmura nila. They swallowed everything. Parang makapadala na ng pera sa Pilipinas. And yet, you have a very serious rampaging problem of drug. At kung malaman nila na itong bata na ito receives a monthly sum, stipend, or baon, honorarium, talagang, I'd like to say it in the dialect, but it's to, talagang didik until bibigay yung bata. So coming home, they find a family that's drugged, addicted, and walang nakakatapos. Few in between, the many thousands, meron. Kaya ako galit. Nakikita ko yung sakripisyo ng Pilipino. Ganun na lang. Kaya kitang ina, mumutang ina ako. Pinuputang ina ko lahat. Good that hindi sila pumatol ng... But I intend to go to Kuwait to thank them for the many things that they reconsidered. I demanded 1 day off, that they can cook their own food, that will be guaranteed 7 hours of sleep, and they can communicate, no confiscation of passports. And all of these things were granted. Hindi ko naman akalain na because of the so many hurtful exchange of tirades, they would still go for a reglo. And since all of my demands that I transmitted to the guys sa labor pati sa foreign affairs, well, sabi ko, maybe I will just have to go there and say, so sorry for the harsh words, but it is not very easy to accept just that. Kayo na umtindi. But on the other side of thing, China is going to import many teachers beginning next year. And they would need about almost, they say, so many thousands. So gusto nila mag-English. That is in preparation for the eventual takeover of the United States. Malaking utang nito, mga gago nito, ayaw magbayad. So they're all mortgaged and their souls. If you have a 3 million utang, how do you can pay it? Ask Doy, economista ka man. Paano yan? So they are preparing to talk in English so that they can communicate where the properties that going to ibigay sa kanila. Wala mong bayad-bayad itong Amerikano. Hindi man talaga mabayad yung mga yawa niya. Ito ulo. Wala akong believe dyan sa mga. So, pati yung the aging countries would be importing a lot of nurses and caregivers. In the meantime that we are poor, hayaan mo pagka maawa ang Diyos, maybe in the fullness of God's time, we will have about magyaman rin tayo. Mag-import tayo ng European to French, Espanyol, gawaan natin mga boy ito, mga buang na ito. Total, ginawa man nila tayong boy, di ba? We were subjugated for 400 years. Why should we not also give the courtesy in return? Babagsak rin yan. At kung tayo na mga Italiano, Espanyol, ang problema nyo, mga asawa natin, baka magtanan tuloy. Let us look forward to a brighter future for our nation. Be uplifting the lives of the Filipinos, I've said, and just keeping our fingers crossed. But one thing, kung magpunta ako niyan nung magkakampanya ako, even dito, nabi ko talaga, makinig kayo ha, makinig kayo. Pag hindi ang anak ninyo walang edukasyon, hindi kayo makalabas dito. Believe me. Na magsabi sila, wala naman, paano tayo makalabas? Ha? Well, now is the time. It's almost universal. Free na. It's a matter of tiyaga. If there's a will, there's a way. Look, me, I finished high school in 5 years. Natapos ko rin sa tiyaga. Oh. So my daughter Veronica said, Pa, yung bang mo, yung matanda niyan, yung sa kabinet mo, yung si Brune, sabi niya, bakit ba yan siya ng buot-buot? Tagalog, sabi siya buot-buot. Parang, bakit siya lang ang nasusunod? Buot-buot. Sabi ko, gusto kong sabihan si Brune, si Leonor. Ang problema kasi ang tatay mo, first batch sa K-12. I finished the high school. Mahiya man ako. Suwinil yun na ba? Ikaw, ilang taon ba mo na, ay, yung record mo, transcript mo? Ma'am, dala pasyal man yan. Eskwela tapos pasyal, eskwela tapos pasyal. My father died. He never had an inkling that, alam mo sa Bisaya, there's I don't know if it's an idiom or a Visayan cliche. Pag sinabi kay mga Bisaya, di ba? Ikaw do is ikaw. Hanggang pantalan ka lang. Naaawa ako sa iyo. Tingnan mo mga kapatid mo. Tingnan mo, third honorable mention, yung isa. Ikaw, kailan ka pa matapos ng yung grado mo, tingnan mo. Ito ba ang grado ng matinong tao? My father was a lawyer, my mother was a teacher, public school teacher. Sabi ko, pa, okay naman yan. So, yawa. Paano ma-okay yan? Sabi ko, dahan-dahan lang, total. Mag-75 basta. Hindi mo naman kailangan yung 76, 77. Of what use is it to you? 95, tignan mo yan sila Dominguez. Aral kami. Nauna yan sila lahat. 95, consistent kindergarten kami. Ito na yun. Valedictorian. Punta ng Colombia, kung ano-ano na ang yawa ang ginagawa. Tugadi, he's a billionaire. Okay mo niwala, intriga na. He was our valedictorian sa law school. Tignan mo yung airport ng Cebu. Gusto lang yan. Pinilit ko yan magtrabaho sa akin. Hindi nag-apply. Yan sila lahat. Lorenzana, valedictorian, puro yan sila bright. Yasa yung, I'd like to talk in English anyway because I think that the people would understand the things that I do. Sa dormitoryo, ako pati siya ka-roommate. Si Dulay, taga Baguio Ilocano, pati si Bebot Belio. Ilocano rin, Isabela. Kami ang mga barkada. So, hindi yan dito mga masteral, mga aim, hitlo. Puro lang yan dormitoryo. Pero may integrity. Lalo na si Dulay. Kasi kami noon, pag maubusan ng allowance, nanakaw kami ng mga kantin dyan sa... Yang si Dulay na talaga, pag mo akong isali dyan. Kasi ang ginawa, kaya ayaw ko ng sugal. Kita mo lahat ng sugal, pinasira ko. Kasi kami, pagdating ng allowance, putang ina, tutuloy kami doon sa Hayalay. In one night, ubos yung aming allowance, and for the rest of the month, utang papan lang pati yung tubig sa yung kaya nung ko sabi ko, nakita mo, I fired yung Government Corporate Council for agreeing and expanding gambling in Luzon, Western. Ayaw ko. Kasi galing ako dyan eh. So, mabutit na lang. Pero, wag mo naman yung kastiguhin yung anak ninyo. Meron talagang late bloomer. O minsan, they never really bloom. But the only single solitary human being that kept her faith in me was my mother. I'm sad that hindi niya ako inabutan naging presidente. I lost hope in me. Sabi ng tatay ko, namatay na yung inon. ang dala-dalang baon niya na ako, pag sinabi ka hanggang pantalan ka, that's a Visayan cliche. Hanggang dyan ka lang tigkarga ng sako. So ako sabi ko, yan ang abutan ko. Ang nanay ko na lang ang, so the mother's love is really something. Hanggang hindi ako nakarecover ng kamatayan sa nanay. Kung kastiguhin ako noon. Kung buhay lang yon, nanay ko, si Suling, demandado yon, child abuse. Puta. Almost thrice a week, nakaganon ako dyan sa altar. Titingin na, si Jesucristo noon. Ay, ba totoo ha? Punta kayo ng Davao. Dali nga sa bahay nyo, nakaganon yung Father, forgive them for they do not what they are doing. Ngayon magpunta ako, it's an old house. Medyo dilapilated na, si Kristo nakaganon na. Ako, taas pa rin ang nungo ko. Sabi ko, nung una, sabi ko, Lord, pareho tayo ng swerte sa buhay. Ano kayang ginawa mong yawa ka? Bakit dalawa tayo nagaharapan dito? Totoo. Minsan, ang nanay ko kung magkastigo yun, naknang. Kasi ano hawakan on. May pampalo yun siya yung sa tartanilya. Tartanilya. Gano'n na lang good ko yung ngayon. Tinago talaga ng mga kapatid ko para exhibit A. Gumano lang, ubos yun sa katawan ko. Pag gumampas yun, sabihin ng tatay ko, tama na. Sige, hampas. Sige pa rin hampas. Tama na. Sa tatay ko, tama na. Tapos hindi man maghinto. Sabi ko, maniwala ka kay Papa. Sabi niya, tama na dyan. Lalo hindi maghinto. Anak, anong klaseng babae ito? Sabi ng Papa, tama na. Tama na, maniwala ka kay Papa. At now, every now and then I go to the tomb and thank her for. Kaya ako sinabi ko, tingnan mo. Di ba sinabi ko sa iyo noon, 45 lang dahan-dahan. Aabot ka rin, tignan mo. Tugadi, valedictorian, Lorenzano, PMA, valedictorian na sila lahat. Tingnan mo, saan sila umabot? Ayan, utusan ko ang mga gago. Tama na po tayo. Baka marinig tayo doon. Maraming salamat po. I think I have